Okay, welcome to my new pickups video, and it's a rather special one. For those of you who are subscribed to my YouTube channel, old and new, you would have seen that I did a YouTube short on a mysterious unboxing that I would be doing. It's been years in the making, in the sense that I've had something similar to this maybe a decade ago, and it's only recently, and with a little bit of help, that I've managed to get this particular item. There were a few teething problems along the way in trying to get the particular product, with it being temporarily sold out, and trying to obviously authorize the actual payment, which was a complete pain to actually do. And I had to go through other means in actually purchasing this item. And yes, I can understand with banks, in terms of if you're paying a lot of money for a product, that they have to have security checks on items, because obviously you don't want people sitting there and hacking into your account and then taking the money and buying out things with it. So I'm all for these security checks. But when you kind of jump through all the fences and actually done what you're supposed to have done to get the particular item, and for the security checks, and they're still being a bit silly, then that can be a complete pain. But yes, it's finally here, and as of today, which is the Wednesday the 10th, this arrived on Tuesday. Wednesday the 10th. This arrived, on, as of today, it's the 3rd. God, I'm mixing up my days. Yeah, actually I am right. Today is it's early August. So I'm just checking to make sure. No wonder my calendar's moved. Don't know what's going on there. So as of today, which is the 7th of August, which is Wednesday, this item came on the 6th of August. They were doing a promotional deal where normally if you get next day delivery, it would be £7.50. But with the promotional delivery code, this gave you next day delivery, which I think was really good. And it was delivered by a company called DPD, which I've had a hit and miss history with, in terms of when their items are supposed to turn up. But they were a little bit late, also the times that they give you between, but it did turn up. And as you can see, it's a box. Obviously I've removed any of my address and stuff like that. So yeah, so as I said before, today is the 7th of the date. Today's 7th of August. I ordered this on the 5th, on Monday the 5th of August, and then it arrived next day with the next day delivery code on the 6th, and then obviously I'm unboxing it now. So without further ado, let's do the unboxing. And as I said before, I'm kind of really ecstatic when you'll finally see what the actual item is, because it's something that I've wanted for a very long while, which not only will it help with maybe things to the channel, but generally speaking, it will make my life a lot easier in terms of what I'm going to be using this particular item or product for. So yeah, let's begin unboxing it. Let's see where they've put it. It's probably going to be upside down. All I can just say so far, it's well packaged. So we can open this, because obviously you got the outside of it, which is a little bit dented, but then as long as the actual product itself is fine, then that shouldn't be a problem. I did do another YouTube short called Unfortunately, and that was associated with this particular item, because I almost thought that I wasn't going to get it, because there actually were two models of this particular item that I actually wanted, and I actually paid a little bit extra to actually get this particular model, which we'll go into and I'll explain as to why, and it's in another package. So we'll move that out of the way. As you can see there, it does contain a battery. Obviously they put a warning there because obviously batteries can explode. And we've got a little thing there to tear. I don't know if you might guess what it is yet, because you can see it's white. And the grand opening. Oh, I almost wish I could do a drum roll. It's actually upside down. And there we have it. And it's of a MacBook Air. This is totally brand new. And as you can see, it's the MacBook Air. It's still in the cellophane as well. You've got all the specs there. And we'll go through with this in a minute. Now, I got this from John Lewis's. Now, originally, this is the M2 model. Obviously, there's various different models of the MacBook Airs, and obviously the MacBook Pros. And just recently, a few months ago, they released the M3 chipsets of their MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros, and even in their iMacs. Now, originally, Argos were doing a deal similar to, you may have seen me do a video. You already seen me do of unboxing my brother's MacBook Air a few months ago, well, last year, where he got a MacBook Air M1, and Amazon, obviously Argos currently was selling the M1. It's pretty much the same configuration as this, except that this is an M2 chip set, and the other one was the M1. Now, originally, I was gonna go for the M1 model, which was $799. Now, Argos were obviously it's available in various different colors. I think it's silver. Remember, I know there's gold. And I'm not sure if Starlight's part of the color, but anyway, I was gonna go for the M1, and it was $799. And when I looked on the other sites, Curry's Co.uk was selling it for $799. John Lewis's was selling it online, was selling it for $7.99 as well. So I didn't think about, there's a catalog shop site called Vary. They were selling it for $7.99 as well. So I was going to get, originally was going to get the M1. And what made me choose out of all the places to get it from with John Lewis is that for most of the electrical products, they give you an extra 2-year guarantee on top of what's already on the guarantee on the actual product or the machine itself already. The one thing it doesn't cover, obviously, is going to be accidental damage, which they do charge for. You can have the option, but regardless of what you pay, it's going to be an extra £110. But I know I'm going to be kind of alright in that. So anyway, I was going to go for the M1, and that's the one that I was going to choose. And then on John Lewis's, they basically had the M2 model. So the M1 model was basically exactly the same. So it's pretty much what it would have been. The M1, it would have been a 2020 MacBook Air, and that would have been 13 inches. And it would have had a Retina display. Obviously, it would have been an M2 processor. 8GB RAM, and it would have been a 256GB SSD drive, so that's solid state. So it's basically the same as the M2 one. Now, the only difference between the M2 model was the fact that the screen is slightly larger, with it being 13.6 inches, so you get another 0.6 inches, so you got a slightly bigger real estate on the actual screen. Obviously, with it having an M2 processor, so it's going to be a little bit more beefier, and the display would be a little bit different with a liquid Retina display. So obviously, it's probably going to be brighter and more vibrant. And the M2 one, which is the one I got, is a 2022 model. Now, I think that there is a 2023 M2 MacBook Air available. Now, so getting this particular model, this one was 899, so it was 100 quid more than the M1. Obviously, that will last me a little bit longer. I'm not going to be using it for anything vigorous like any like a heavy workload like gaming or something intensive. Obviously for like for going on the internet, checking my emails, maybe doing videos, like being able to finally edit or do things on my YouTube channel. Obviously that's gonna take a while for me to sit there to get the hang of. So it's nothing kind of going to be strenuous in terms of getting a powerhouse. Now bear in mind that regardless of whether you get the M1 chipset, the M2 chipset, or the M3 chipset, you do have if you're going to buy it from Apple directly, which is what you would be doing, you can obviously upgrade the RAM and the SSD drive, but you have to do that when you're actually ordering the Apple product, whether it's the MacBook Air, whether it's the MacBook Pro, or even the iMacs, because as people will know with laptops now and the desktops now, they're making them a lot thinner. And what they're doing now is that they're basically hardwiring all the chips onto the motherboard. So basically you're getting a thinner product. But by making it a thinner product, right, if you buy it at its base configuration, which is what I've done with this, you won't be able to change it later along down the line. Let's say if you wanted more RAM later along the line. Obviously with the solid state drive, what you can do with that, at least do with that, is you can then add a external drive into one of the ports, so you've got more memory, hard drive space to kind of play with. But when it comes to RAM and other stuff like that, you will not be able to change it once you've bought it. So bear it in mind that that's going to be a key factor, that if you really want to sit there, and whether it's a MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air or the iMac, you're going to have to sit there and configure it before you place the order, because once you've ordered it and done it, you can't change it, as I said before, later along the line. I did have years ago, I did have an Apple G5 iMac, and what was really great about that, obviously the volts were a lot thicker, but at least with that, you could actually beef up the RAM and the hard drive, and you could beef that up. Same thing with the latter models that I think my brother bought one. Similar thing where you could beef up the specs later on, and not necessarily buy the extra RAM. The new improved RAM from Apple, you could use a third party one and it will still work just as well. But obviously now people want products that are thinner and also going to be much lighter. So you obviously you lose out on that now, with obviously everything being wired straight onto the board, and so you'll gain one thing with it being lighter and thinner, but then you'll lose out in the sense that you won't be able to configure it later along the line. So please bear that in mind, that it's going to happen. And obviously it is going, if you obviously, because Apple are the ones that are going to be configuring it for you, this will significantly raise up the price of the actual product that you're going to buy, whether it's the MacBook Air, the Pro, or the iMac. That will go up in price because obviously you're buying their chipsets and their RAM, so obviously they're going to charge you a lot more than the third party. So it's going to be really expensive. It's not like they've made it so hard to configure later along the line. But as I said, what was really great about this is that it was $8.99, and so probably I was having trouble with the banks at first. And when I looked for the price of this, say on Amazon, even on Amazon, Currys and Argos, their prices of this one were still, the price of it really varied, so it was more expensive. So at the current moment, John Lewis's still have them online. So if you are wanting to get something like this, especially like the M2, I definitely would recommend get it from John Lewis's, because not only, as I said before, is it a lot cheaper, because as I said before, it says here that the usual price of it is £949, so you're getting it £50 cheaper. So everywhere else It's charging £949. I've even seen some places even charging a little bit even more than that. So, wow. And then because I got a little bit of help in investing in buying this particular product, which the person will go nameless, that made it a lot easier in terms of, for me, paying that extra little bit of money to get the M2 rather than getting the M1. And there are some benefits with getting the M2, which I will go into later. Now, it is available in 4 different colors. So you've got space gray, you've got starlight, you've got silver, and you've got midnight. Now, I chose midnight. Now, I normally would have gone for a silverish type of color, but the reason why I wanted to go for midnight, because I just wanted something different. A lot of the Apple products I bought in the past have been silver or white. So, for example, I'm going to show you something here. This is my old 2014 MacBook Pro. So this isn't the same as the MacBook Air. The difference being, obviously, it's a lot more powerful, and this one has a fan in it, whereas the MacBook Airs do not have a fan in it. So we'll go into why this is a good thing and why this is a bad thing. So you can see it's still in a pretty good state. And as you can see, the rubber feet in it, they're not on there. It's not because of abuse. It's because, I don't know if I told a story. There may be a video in it where I did a rant about CEX, and where my brother bought a similar model to this one here, and they didn't give it to me in a good state, and his one stopped working. So what I ended up doing is, this one obviously doesn't work anymore. So I took out some of the parts out of my one, and I put it in my brother's one, to hopefully so that it would work. And then when he had his, the rubber feet, as you can see here, they weren't on his one. He had some missing, which CEX tried to claim that that they didn't give it to him like that. And anyone's been in CEX and seen how dirty whether it's laptops or consoles are, and the scratches and the state of them are, then you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. So I just basically cannibalized some of the parts off of my one, and then put in his one. And obviously, you know, the long story short, it went to different CX, they repaired it, and then it broke again. So there we have it. But yeah, it's the other thing I'll say about this MacBook Pro is that I still think the design of it is absolutely awesome. Although I'm holding it with one hand, it's still pretty heavy. But I do actually like the design of it. And obviously, this is where, on this you can see the disk drive port. And I think this could put Blu-rays. I think I'm not 100% sure. I think it could, which I miss now because they're taking it out of all laptops now. Again, you're gonna have to get an external drive if you're gonna play Blu-rays on it. And as you can see, yeah, the screen is dirty, yeah, as I'm not showing off, and you got the trackpad there, and it still looks really cool. The actual design of it, even though it's nearly 10 years, more than 10 years old now, because this is before they used the Intel chips. And then, but I damaged it. Well, it was my kind of fault because it got a little bit of water damage, which was my fault, to be fair. And I was going to try and repair it, and then they wanted nearly £400 to repair it, and I didn't have the Apple kit, so maybe if I had it, I would have repaired it. And at the time, I tried to get help to repair it, and I didn't get any help. So I had it for about maybe 5 years. I think maybe 4 or 5 years before that happened. And I haven't had a laptop or anything since. And then I had my brother's old iPad, so I had that, and I was using that. So when I was streaming on Twitch to look at the chat when people were talking and doing little tiny things on that. But obviously it's not the same as having a computer. And obviously before I had this, I had a G5, I had an Apple G5 iMac, which is actually still in the box, but it stopped working. And I actually loved that machine. It's just the way it looked. It looked really cool. Apple have always had, when it comes to the designs of their products, there's something that's the aesthetics of their products always look good, from their phones right down to their iWatches, right down to anything that they ever do. Even there's an Apple router that my brother bought a few years ago, which it doesn't work with with our current router now, and it has this Apple Touch. The one thing I forgot to mention is that with the MacBook Pro, I think the Weaving ones now don't do that. What I liked about this one is that if we look here at the Apple sign, when it used to turn on, it used to glow, which was absolutely awesome. With the MacBook Pros and the the MacBook Airs now, they don't glow anymore, which is a real shame because they actually look really cool, should I say. Now again, as I said, it went for midnight blue. This is, funny enough, is the same color as my iWatch Series 9. That's a midnight blue. So from a certain angle, it kind of looks like black, but when the light hits it, it looks like it's blue. So yeah, again, if I hadn't bought so many silver products, maybe I just would have gone for silver. And because there are some concerns with the color that with the midnight blue, in terms of which I will go into while we start to unbox this. So we've got the usual MacBook Air in this simple Apple box. It's just white, and you've got the Apple, the MacBook Air open up there, and you've got the Apple sign there. And then at the back, you've got all the relevant information there. So it's 8 gigabyte unified memory, 256 gigabyte SSD. It's obviously 17-inch MacBook Air with Apple M2 chip. And I'll read what it says there, get this in fine print, which again, I don't know what, especially when they're writing in tiny black italics with a white background, it makes it so hard to actually read, which I don't like. It says, these are the specifications of this particular model. It's an 8-core CPU and 8-core GPU, 13.6 inch diagonally, that's how they measure it, liquid retina LED backlit display with true tone technology, 2560 by 1664 pixels, MagSafe, 3 charging port, 2 Thunderbolt US and USB 4 ports, and headphone jack, which I was kind of shocked to see that this actually comes with a headphone jack. But then with this being again, this is a 2002 model, so obviously in 2004, this is 2 years old. This would have been coming up to round about the time that they would have started phasing out the headphone jack. So, you know, it's just one of them things. 4 speaker sound system, full size backlit Magic keyboard and Touch ID, which is cool. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.3, 1080p FaceTime HD camera. Now, I do know that one of the differences between this and the M1 and the M2 is obviously that the front-facing camera right now is HD, whereas on the M1 it actually wasn't HD. So that's a improvement there. Pre-installed Mac OS. I don't think it's necessarily got the newest one. Size and weight 0.44 by 11.97 by 8.46 inches, and that's a 1 by 3 by 0.4 by 2.15 centimeters. The weight of this is 2.7 pounds. Meets Energy Star requirements, includes the 13-inch MacBook Air, USB Type-C power adapter, USB Type-C to MagSafe 3 cable. So there we've got all of that there. One of the things obviously that I've noticed that they've done, and I've seen various different viewpoints on the keyboard, is on the original, on the older style, obviously with these ones, with the keyboard, and when it comes to the typing, I think they call it it was called a butterfly, the butterfly keyboard that they use, so it typed a certain way. But with the newer MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros, and obviously the keyboards that you use on a iMac, they've changed the entire design of the actual keyboard in terms of the way it presses, so it sounds different and feels different. So it's no longer using the butterfly type technology in the actual keyboard. And there are some people that prefer the butterfly style keyboard that they used to use. and there's some people that prefer the newer technology that they're using in the keyboards now. I know that whatever the case is that obviously I haven't used the butterfly style keyboard in years. So, something for me, the only time I've ever used the keyboards is when I've gone to the Apple Store and I've messed around with or in Currys, and I've messed around with the normal keyboards or the MacBook Pros or the different models of MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs that I've released over the years. And obviously I've known that in terms of the touch, that the keyboard and the way it springs is very different. So for me, I know that I'll get used to the new style of the way that the keyboard will perform compared to the old style butterfly technology that they used to use. So we'll start to open this up, and then we'll go through as to what they actually give you. Open this up. I have ordered a little sleeve for this so that I can protect it. So, but until that comes, and I'll do an unboxing of that when it arrives. But until then, what I will do is once it's not in use, I will put it back in the box. You can get plastic these plastic membrane things to put over your MacBook Air or your MacBook Pro to protect it if you're worried about scratches or fingerprints getting onto the actual laptop itself. If that's what you're kind of worried about, you can do that. And one thing I always liked is that new Apple smell. You get a new product. Okay, make sure we get this back in there. It's kind of funny that I'm using the white cloth and then the white background over. You can tell it's a lot brighter. Okay, we should slowly start to take this off. And already you can smell that smell. It almost smells like glue, but it isn't. Although I'm not telling people that you should smell glue, but it's got that new Apple smell, which I absolutely like. We'll put the cover to one side. But when it comes to my boxes, when it comes to my Apple products, whether it's my watches, that's one watch I've had, the Series 9. I always keep the box. When I'm not wearing my Series 9, I put it back in the original box. My G5 iMac, although it doesn't work, might even take it to get recycled. Who knows? It might become something worth money if it don't work. That's still in the box, and even in the cardboard box it came in right when I ordered it. The MacBook Pro I've got here, I've still got the box for this, although a little bit tattered, but I still actually have it. And then you can see all of the ports of the old one. Oh, and this one has a headphone jack, but then it would do. You've got the SD reader as well. Get out of the way. But I do miss my MacBook Pro. And then, but originally, as I was sort of considering getting a MacBook Pro. So, it would have been a much new one of the old one I had. But then when I saw the price of how much a MacBook Pro cost, even to get the cheapest one and its cheapest configuration, it was just too expensive. I mean, when I bought my MacBook Pro in 2014, or roughly around that era, it was less. It was about maybe 800 and something. I've always had to pay more because I was paying it off, but it was 800 something to buy it outright. Now you buy the equivalent of the one I had now, and it's so expensive, or as they call it, Apple tax. So for me, a MacBook Air was kind of the next best thing. We'll take this out and we'll showcase this in a minute. It's way lighter. I was watching a video of the Steve Jobs when he first introduced the MacBook Air, and when he had it inside of the envelope, and I remember seeing that when he unveiled it and he pulled the MacBook Air out of the envelope, and I was shocked to see how thin it was and it come out the envelope. I remember hearing the people gasping when he introduced that, and that was just wow. That was something else. We've got the mag charger here. Now, what I do love, so I'm just going to still smell the brand new smell. What I do love is now they've stopped using, I can show you in it. No, I don't know if I've got it on me. But what I didn't used to like about the lightning cables that they used to use before is they used to use a rubber, the normal plastic rubber thing that they used to use in it. But what I didn't used to hate is that over time they would start to peel off. I don't know if anybody's had that problem over time. They would peel off, and then a few years ago they changed to the braided cable when it comes to their the lightning cables, and obviously now they've changed to Type C now with the iPhone 15 Pro, and obviously they're forced to do that because obviously the European courts force them to change to Type C, which obviously is going to be faster for data transferring and more efficient. But yeah, what I do like about this is that the color of it now matches the color of the MacBook Air, which is midnight blue. So that's really great. And what I do like is that when it does get dirty over time, and it will, you're not really kind of going to kind of see it because obviously it's a dark color. I do like the bit obviously that you clip in to the actual thing itself, that it's going to be it's the same color again, midnight blue. The only the one negative thing on first glance in what I think is really stupid is the fact that they've still kept this white, which I think is absolutely silly. I mean, if you're gonna make the whole of the braided cable blue, midnight blue, the bit of the thing that goes into your my MacBook Air blue, why not make this blue as well? I mean, why not go the whole hog? And I think that's a bit I think that's a bit of a silly oversight. But what you will get if you get a MacBook Pro, depending on what color you get, and obviously the MacBook Air, depending on what color you get, you'll get the matching color. So if you say get the MacBook M1 and it's gold, you're going to get a gold color one. And obviously if you get Starlight, regardless of with the MacBook Air Pro or the silver, you're going to get these, or the darker kind of ones, then you're going to get the matching thing. Now what's really, again, it's silly about this, and you would have seen this on my iPad unboxing, is when I did iPad unboxing, is that the iPad was a certain color and they just gave you a white braided cable rather than giving you the color to actually match the actual iPad itself, which I think is very silly. I don't know why they didn't, they can give you a matching color cable for the MacBook Air and the Pro, but they don't do it with the iPad, which I think is a bit silly. But that's Apple for you. I can't. Who am I to argue? You've got the usual Apple literature here, designed by Apple in California. And then you get the usual Apple literature here. I think you get the usual Apple stickers. Let me see what colour that they actually give you. As if they do give you. And again, you can smell that new smell. Just the cardboard backing. And this is what you get. This is welcome to MacBook Air. As you can see, and that's probably going to be the basic setup. And obviously it's going to show you the menu bar. The middle bit with the notch is obviously going to be the FaceTime HD camera. The center, the control center. You've got the folders there. You've got the dock, system settings, and obviously that's telling you everything. You've got the Touch ID in the corner, and you've got the headphone jack, which I showed you, MagSafe 3, and you've got the Thunderbolt USB 4. So that's basically telling you where everything is. I'm assuming that this is going to be the warranty, also getting tiny writing, and it's a nice touch. You get 2 Apple stickers in midnight blue to match the actual MacBook itself, the MacBook Air. That's really cool. I haven't got stickers in with anything in ages. So yeah, we've got that. We'll put that back inside of the cardboard envelope. But it's fairly straightforward to set up. Anyone that's used an Apple product before, even if it's years ago, it's basically going to be the same usual setup where you have to type in your name and your details and sign into Apple ID. It's pretty much easy. So you don't need for me to sit to show you that, but I will show you in a separate video of the MacBook up and running, because also I've got to put in my details and stuff. You get the plug there, and obviously you get the other bit obviously there, where obviously that's going to press. You obviously take that sticker off, and then that just slides in like that, and then you will have that little notch there in terms of, obviously, I'm gonna show you, that end will plug into here, and then also that end will go into the MacBook. So fairly straightforward, really, and that's all you get with this. Put it back in. And then we come to now the main event, or the main course, and that's the MacBook Air itself. Yeah, it's actually really light. I do think it's actually thicker. It does look a lot more beefier than the one obviously that Steve Jobs did all those years ago when he first unveiled it. As you can see, one thing I've looked on the old videos on the early MacBook Airs is that they used to be actually slanted in terms of the design of the older MacBook Airs. I know that once it got to the M1, they changed it, so now it looks more it looks more even. It looks more rigid now. So the slope is totally gone. I do love being able to pull it off. And what we can see already is that we've got the rubber feet, and they're actually quite big as well. So you know that they're not going to move around or slide around in regards of whatever surface it's on. The rubber feet that were on my old one, on my MacBook Air, sorry, my MacBook Pro, they were kind of really tiny. These ones are actually thick and flat. Oh, nice set. And you get this off because the thing's stuck to it now. And there we have the MacBook Air in midnight blue. Now, what I did say earlier on about choosing the color of it, as before, I only wanted it because it was a different color to what was to what I'm used to. Now, bearing in mind that when you get midnight blue and this particular color, is that it's going to be a fingerprint magnet, and especially if your sweater got oily skin, so it is going to pick up a lot of, not necessarily scratches, but fingerprints. And obviously if you do some really deep scratches, you are going to see the original silver color that's actually underneath it. So if you're somebody that's not obviously happy about or doesn't like seeing things with a lot of fingerprints, obviously either try to clean wash, make sure your hands aren't too sweaty or oily. Either obviously don't get midnight blue and go for a silver, or you can get those membrane wrappings that you can put around it, so that will lessen the amount of it obviously smudging and fingerprints. So you kind of bear that in mind. Now you can see obviously that's for the headphone thing there, as you can see, you should be able to see there, and you've got the various different ports there. Now, one of the positive things that is actually what's actually great about the M2 is that because it's using the MagSafe, that particular port, it basically frees up you having be able to use another. It frees up a port, so you get another port to be able to use. Whereas on the M1, it doesn't do that. Now, also bearing in mind that this is not going to have an SD card slot in it for you to put any of that stuff in there. Because obviously the MacBook Air is so thin, obviously you're just getting the SSD drive, or solid state drive as I call it. There is no fan with this one, so if you're doing really heavy editing, bearing in mind that what might happen is that that your MacBook Air is going to be a little bit more hotter than what a laptop kind of should be, because obviously there is no fan for it to cool down the actual system and the chips and everything, so it might be a little bit hot. If you're somebody that wants to sit there and again wants to play heavy, wants to do really heavy duty editing, then I would definitely say get the MacBook Pro, and obviously make sure that you then add in more RAM and a bigger solid state drive inside of the actual system. But if you're someone like me that's going to be using it more casually and nothing too heavy, then a MacBook Air is going to be perfect for you. Something, obviously it's going to be a lot heavier, as I said before, in terms of heavy editing use, then go for the MacBook Pro. But bearing in mind, obviously, that when you buy the MacBook Pro, especially if you buy the new ones, whether it's the M2 and the M3, you're going to be paying a lot more money for that. And then if you add in more to actually configure the system to make it more powerful, you're going to be paying in even more money on top of that. So kind of bearing in mind that it will get a lot more expensive. But if you're willing and you've got the money to do that, then go for the Pro, kit it out, and then it's going to last you for a very good few years. So bear that in mind if that's what you want to do. But again, as I said, if you're somebody like me, so the MacBook Air is going to be absolutely perfect for your needs. We should open this up. If I can find where it's supposed to open. Oh, it's the other way around. And we've got this open up here. And also we've got the paper there. Wanted to protect the screen. Again, you've got that new smell. Definitely a much as before, I do like the colour of it. As before, when you look at a certain angle, and maybe on the camera, from what I'm filming, it does look as if it's black, but it's actually blue. But it depends on how the light kind of hits it. I don't know if I'll be able to sit and get this in frame. Obviously, this is a MacBook, not a MacBook Air, so not a totally fair comparison. But I'm just gonna. I can move this a little bit. This one, by the way, the MacBook Pro was a 13-inch. And obviously, same with the MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs, you can get bigger screens, so you don't have to go for 13, you can go for 15. You can get them bigger, I think. But you can see the actual, even right now, the design of the actual keyboard looks totally different. And then, obviously, in the corner here, we've got the Touch ID. And we've got the trackpad here, which is a lot bigger than obviously than this one. So you've got more surface area there. When I'm typing on it, it does feel a lot softer, a lot more smooth, a lot more softer. Whereas this one, I don't know if you can hear it, does sound a lot more tinny. A lot more plastically, and I can actually feel it. So it is springy, so you can definitely tell with the butterfly keyboard that it's actually a lot different. Whereas this is a lot more quieter. You can barely hear anything. It's just really soft. So yeah, that's that. And we've got the screen there. And there we have it here. Now, usually on the MacBooks, they usually would put the speakers. So if this has got a full speaker system, what they normally would do is put the speakers at the side of the actual of the laptop itself. But what they've done with this is that they've actually put the actual speakers right down into the groove there. So that's where the actual speakers are, which is kind of cool and unique. But it kind of worries me is that on my MacBook Pro, I used to get a little dust there. I've always, it's very easy to clean out, but I'm just trying to remember how you turn these things on. But yeah, the screen is so thin. And that's what I'm kind of really shocked about, really, on how thin this actual thing is, and it actually looks pretty. Like it actually looks really, really cool. So I can get more of it in frame. But yeah, it actually does look really cool. See if it actually does turn on, because there may not be any power in it. I'm trying to remember how I turned on my one. But I don't think there's no power in it, unfortunately. Normally, they usually have power on this, but I don't think it has any, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to charge this up, but there's no power. And then what I will do is I will do another video showing you this baby in action. But yeah, I thought it would have been a pack, because you normally I don't know how to remember how my old one turned on. There could be something there could be something at the side. Let me have a look on the other side to see, because I don't remember how it turned on. I'm trying to remember how it turns on. Yeah, but I don't think there's really any power in it, unfortunately. Because normally when you buy the phones or any Apple product, there's usually a little bit of residual power inside the computer, right? But so they're computers, well, not really computers, but the portable ones anyway, or even the iPhones and watches, but they don't usually But as I said before, one of the reasons again why I got this from John Lewis is because they were doing the actual next day delivery free, and you get the 2-year warranty in it. And then even with the TVs, they do a similar thing where they give you a 3 or 4 year warranty on their TVs as well. So that's why I really like buying stuff from there, because you get that obviously. So for you're not going, it doesn't cover accidental damage, so kind of bear that in mind. I'm just checking out something just to make sure that I've got it, whether it's right. But yeah, so far, and my initial impressions of it so far, I'm actually really pleased with the actual item. It does look really, really great. Again, as I said before, with the colour of it, I know it's going to be a fingerprint magnet. So I kind of know that that's going to happen. So just going to watch someone else. Again, as before, it's going to take me a while to set this up. So yeah, I'm really kind of happy. Yeah, sometimes when it just turns right on, but it obviously hasn't done it because obviously no power in it, so I'm going to have to charge it. But yeah, really happy with this. Hopefully this will be in my service for many years to come. I'm gonna have to obviously learn how to start editing now, but because when I was editing videos and stuff, I was doing it on my iPhone, which was still good, but still kind of limited to what you can do, because it's kind of stripped down to the OS on the mobile phone. So yes, it's gonna be a while. I'm gonna put this back on there for a while until I can get that to charge. But yeah, this is, so you can already see some of the thing disappearing already. But yeah, this is the MacBook here. So its full title, if I'm being, it's the 2022 Apple MacBook Air 13.6 Liquid Retina Display M2. So yeah, if you do want to get one, at the moment, John Lewis is at the is at the cheapest at the moment. They do some price plans where what you can do is that you can pay it over 36 months, if that's what you want to do, rather than pay it all in one go. So you do that. I'm assuming that if you choose the option, it's going to you can pay £22 pounds and 57 pence per month over 48 months at 9.9% APR, and there are other payment plans available. If you do have a device that you no longer are using, you can type in or scan in the actual device, and you can get money off of that device, which could even then lower down the price of your new product. Because my MacBook Pro was slightly too old, fortunately it doesn't cover that. Obviously, after they made my particular model, that's when a couple of years later, they started using the Intel chip processors. So mine was before that all came in, and then obviously disappeared when Apple decided to make their own processors with the M1 and the M2, now the M3. Of course, if you do want to purchase one, you can buy a slightly newer M2, which is a 2023 model, so it's going to be a year older. Or if you really got the money, whether it's the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro, you can get the M3. Obviously, again, that's going to cost you more money because obviously it's newer. I wasn't prepared to pay the extra price just to get the M3. The M2, this is only 2 years, so that it will when it comes to software updates, this will last, and the speed of processor will last for many years before I ever need to get a new one. And hopefully this time I don't do anything stupid like get any water damage in it. Now, the other options that are the 6 other offers that John Lewis is actually giving you, I don't know about anywhere else, is as follows. If you type in the code in capital letters, Apple next day, you will get next day delivery, which pardon me, I'm about to sneeze, which normally would cost you £7.50. So what you do is when you put this particular item in the basket, and when you go to the actual payment, you look at the top, there'll be a promotional space where you can put in obviously the where it says Apple next day, and then what happens is that it takes off the £7.50, so you're getting it next day delivered for free rather than paying £7.50. If some of the products maybe don't do it, it's just standard delivery, so that's kind of great. The other special offers available is that you can get Apple Music free for 3 months. You can get Apple TV Plus for 3 months as well. You can get Apple Arcade free for 3 months. And you also will get Apple News Plus free for 3 months. So bear in mind, with all of these things that you get for 3 months for free, whether it's Apple News Plus, Apple Arcade, Apple TV Plus, and the News Plus, you get it free for 3 months. Once the 3 months is over, please realize that what it will do is it will then renew after the 3 months at full price on each of these products. So if you don't want to sit there and pay for the product after the 3 months on these things then lapse, make sure that a couple of days before it's going to run out, that you then go into the option of turning off reoccurring billing if you don't want to pay after the 3 months is over. So I think it's a really actually good, the offers that they're giving you are actually really good. You're getting the next day delivery, instead of paying £7.50, you're getting it free. You're getting Apple Arcade, Apple Music, Apple News Plus, and Apple TV Plus for 3 months. I think that's absolutely an absolute bargain. Obviously, it's going to give me that, even though I've already got them. I've already got all these anyway, because I've got my brother put me on his Apple family thing, so I've got it all anyway. But yeah, I definitely think it's absolutely worth it with all these goodies that you can get. I'm assuming that if you go into your local John Lewis branch, wherever you are, they probably will do it at $8.99 as well. I do know that Currys co.uk do price matching on their particular products. So if the item isn't there at your John Lewis, whether it's online or physically there, you could try getting Currys to price match the product if you want to get it from Currys, but that's but I don't know how much they're going to charge for you to deliver it. If you just want to get it online, or if you're going to go there and get it. But as I said before, the M2 at the moment on John Lewis is $8.99, and the M1 at the moment is $7.99. So again, it's £100 difference. And as I said before, John Lewis is selling for the M1 for $7.99. Amazon is, I think. Currys is, I think Very is, and obviously John Lewis is, and there's probably an Argos is as well. While obviously the stocks last. Let me just check something on Argos on their kind of particular deals with, because I know that the M2 is still £949. So if you don't want to get the M2, then the M1 is still available at $7.99 at Argos. Just having a quick look of what they have available. Well, at my one anyway, stocks will vary in terms of whether they have it in stock. Yeah, they have the M1, which is basically the M1 is the 2020 model. It's 13-inch, 8 GB RAM, and T56 GB solid drive, which is the same as this, or just that the chipset being an M1 rather than M2. That's $7.99. They say it's out of stock, but you can collect it from Sunday the 11th. They've got the gold one. Again, you have to wait until August the 11th as well. Currently out of stock, so it seems like it's really popular. You've got the M1 in space grey, still at $7.99, and they do have this one, and the one I got here with the MacBook Air 2022 with the 13.6-inch screen, the M2, same configuration with it, with the RAM being 8 GB and it's the SSD being T56. But this is Starlight, and it's at £949. So this is £50 more. But they've got it in stock. So it's got it in stock at Starlight. They've got Midnight, which is the one I have here, in stock, and they have the Space Grey in stock as well. And they have the 2023 model, and that one is 13.3 inches. Still having the M2 chip, and 8 GB, but that's at £949. So for the price that they're selling the M2, so they're selling the 15.3 inch M2 MacBook Air at £949, and if you buy the 13-inch M2 processor, that's exactly the same price. So the only difference is that you're paying is exactly the same price, except one's going to be 13.6 inches, the other one's going to be 15 inches. So that's an extra about 1.8 inches of real estate that you're going to get. So again, for the extra 50 quid, you might want to, get the slightly bigger 15-inch screen if that's what you fancy. Again, and they have the M3 as well, but that's at $99. That's at just under a pound shy of £1,000, and that's out of touch. Again, the only difference I can see is it's the M3 chip, the RAM and the SSD is exactly the same. So yeah. Again, as I said, this doesn't have an SD card slot. That's not on here because obviously with the MacBook Air and it's being a soft thing, it's not going to have that. So, and again, kind of bear that in mind. And again, it's not going to have a fan because obviously it's so thin. So if you're doing very heavy editing on this, or I don't know what people use, because I've been out of the game. All I remember is Final Cut Pro. That's going to, bear in mind, that's going to heat up. It's going to be a little bit hotter. That's going to be normal because obviously it doesn't have a fan in it, but it will be totally fine and normal as long as you don't obviously push it. So again, this is the 2022 MacBook Air with the M3 processor, 8 GB RAM and 256 GB SSD. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this new toy out. Um, it's going to be so much nicer to be able to scroll across the internet, rather than having to use my phone, which is still handy if you're out and about. But you know, as for things like going on some, if you're using a like say using YouTube, the app on the phone, it's just a stripped down version of it on the mobile phone, and now being able to go to the proper desktop version of an app is going to be so much easier. And I'm looking forward to actually hearing the sound on this. It's going to be absolutely, it's going to be probably mind blowing. And again, as I said before, with me having a MacBook Pro, again, the MacBook Pro and the Air are two different things. It's going to be nice to have a laptop again after so many years. So yeah, the next thing I really do want to get is an Elgato card, and then I can obviously do some proper streaming, especially with the Nintendo consoles that I do have. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the actual product. I know this has been a long one, but I had to kind of go through some do this justice. Again, I will do another video with this fully charged and fully set up, and quickly going through a run through of what this actually does. So yeah, that was the mysterious unboxing that I mentioned on my YouTube short. Anyway, I hope you found this video informative, and please feel free to share with your friends and family. Also, you can give this video a thumbs up. I would highly appreciate that. That will allow people to find my YouTube channel and content. This is because of the YouTube algorithms favour the bigger YouTubers, and so their YouTube content and channel is featured on the YouTube recommendation page. So yeah, it would be nice to get some more viewership and some new subscribers. Speaking of subscribers, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you want to see stuff like this, video game playthroughs, video game unboxings, Blu-ray and DVD unboxings, movie reviews, my Blu-ray steelbook collection, video game unboxings, like I've said, stuff like gadgets, clothing I've started to do, drink and food reviews. Trying to think what else I do on my channel. Yes, comic book related stuff, where it's comic books, old and new, graphic novels. I've got some statues that I need to unbox, on one on its way, and I've got quite a few others, DC and Marvel. So got that to do. So if you're into all this stuff, and please consider, and obviously I do drink and food stuff as well. So if you like all that stuff, I'm sure there's something for everybody that to enjoy, and even the odd rant video that I sometimes do when it's necessary. And I do a vlog once a month, telling you what I've been up to and what I'm going to be up to, and what I've been up to the previous month and what I'm going to be up to in the new month. So keep an eye out for that. Just before Christmas, we hit 500 subs. A couple of months ago, we hit 600 subs, and now we're virtually a few subs away from now hitting 700 subs. So I just want to say a big thank you to the subs, old and new, for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate all of you. Who would have thought that first starting off with 13 subs that I would get to nearly 700 subs? So it's nearly been a nearly 200 sub jump from Christmas up until August now. So I really thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, and it really means a lot, considering that my channel's not really kind of professional or big and established like the already big and established YouTubers that are been around YouTube for years. So I'm only doing things that I love, so it's mainly a labour of love, and hopefully people are entertained and share the same things that I love and enjoy doing. So a big thank you to all of you. I do live stream on Twitch, although I haven't been on a month because there's been a lot going on in my personal life. Things are going on. There's been a lot going on at the moment. So it's been a lot. Been tired. But I do want to get back to doing some, because I want to go back to doing some Forza, which I love. The Forza Motorsport on the Xbox Series X. Absolutely love that game, especially the weather effects. And I need to do the last mission for Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain. I have to do the very last mission. The man who I forgot that it's mission 46 of the big twist in that particular mission, in that particular thing. So I've got to do that. If there's what I usually do is I usually export some of the games that I do on, because I'm only Xbox ones, because obviously people know that the Xbox can't live stream to Twitch or record like say like an hour or two worth of footage for some bizarre reason. Because mainly Xbox stuff, and what I do is I export it to YouTube. So even if you're not following me on Twitch, it's on YouTube where it's completely archived. as long as the music, the DVD games aren't copyright, have got copyright music in it, I can export it. With some games like Metal Gear, some of the missions do where you can't edit it out, or, unless obviously you go into YouTube, unless you go to YouTube Studio, the app, and then you automatically tell the software to mute it out. Or now with the computer now, I can actually do that myself now. So obviously I have to learn how to do the editing. So things like Forza don't have copyright music, so I can export that to Twitch. Sorry, it's from Twitch to YouTube. No problems. Some games like Metal Gear 5 can't do that. Although I have been doing some videos on random missions on Metal Gear Solid 5, where I'll show you my way of actually completing the mission, and then even a way to do it so you can get an S rank. So I've been picking certain videos that necessarily don't have copyright music, and if they do kick in, I try to skip the intro so you don't, obviously see that. So again, follow me on Twitch. It's the same name on YouTube, except that it's got Ryan Ricardo 76 all in one, whereas here it's just Ryan Ricardo. I will put the description of it in the actual description box, so you can click and follow me there. At the moment I've got 40 followers. I'm trying to get to 50, so that we eventually get affiliated and you get all those perks on there. So please follow me on there, like you have on YouTube. I do live stream. I rarely on YouTube, but it's gonna be more casual stuff like football games, as you Americans call it, soccer, sports games, shoot 'em ups, beat 'em ups. It's more casual gaming. So you might want to hit the notification bell on that rare occasion that I do live stream on YouTube. So yeah, I'm hoping to do that when I get the time and the energy to do it. So you've got the two bases covered. Anyway, thank you for bearing with me with this longer than usual video. Again, it's just my love in going to hopefully helping you to decide if you want to get something like this yourself. Because I know that when I wanted to choose the particular models, I watched other YouTubers to be educated on what one to get and what not to do in terms of getting it. Again, if I had the money, I would have put in more RAM in it and boosted it up, but then that would have racked up the price as it already is. So hopefully, if you're somebody that likes Apple products and I'm able to educate you in maybe purchasing one for yourself or getting one, there's certain special deals. As I said, I don't work for Apple, by the way. I'm just speaking what I'm seeing. As again, you saw me criticize the price of it, because I still think Apple products in general are still expensive, and certain things that they could have done on these products. But again, I'm happy for what it does, and time will tell as to how this system performs. One quick thing I want to show you very quickly, because I can't unbox this, is my brother kindly gave me his this here. He kind of gave me his Belkin battery pack that he's given me, so that can charge any device, whether it's even your iWatch support if you get it connected. You got the right connections. Your phone, even your laptop as well. And so he gave me it because he went abroad and brought a couple of with these battery packs with him, because where he went there wasn't any power, very unfortunately. So he bought these. You should be able to get at least several charges. And again, a big thank you to him for just giving me it, because I don't know how much it cost him. Again, I couldn't do a proper unboxing or a detailed thing on it because the box is gone. Maybe if I do find it, maybe I might do a little video on it. But yeah, I've got that in there, so that's really kind of cool. So that's a big thank you to him. So anyway, I'm gonna get ready to start playing with this new toy. Obviously, I'm gonna charge it first. So again, I apologize for the long video, but I just wanted to sit there and give you a proper educated on what my thoughts are of the product and what the product is fully capable of. So it just leaves me to say, wherever you're in the world, please stay safe. Especially with London now, there's been lots of these far right riots going on across the country, and especially in London. And even where I am, there was supposed to be one going on. So if you're in the UK, please stay safe. Please stay away from these things. I mean, I know of the events of what happened to those poor, three tragic children that sadly lost their lives. But to sit there to riot and to attack different people of different religions and different cultures, It's not the right way to do it. And even attacking the police as well, again, not the right way to do it as well. Please use your energy and prayers for the families who have just lost their children. I think it's the wrong form of energy in using that to fight. Use that energy into, because these families are going to need all the energy, the prayers and thought and the kind and goodwill from all the people across the country that they're going to need. It's going to be a tough time for all these families losing their children at such a young age, and the rioting is not helping anyone. So please stay away from these things and stay safe. And also on social media, no misinformation or any hateful messages towards anybody, regardless of their colour, creed or gender. Please don't do that. Just one love, as I always say. Anyway, please keep safe, as I said, and I will speak to you again on my next video. Bye for now.